A very good morning, students. We are back with our structural geology map practical video series, and this is map number 12. So this is the map. They had given the question that the lower trace of the grid bed is indicated in the map. It is conformably underlined by green sandstone of 20 meter, red sandstone of 25 meter, yellow shale of 25 meter, and mudstone. Mark the formation, determine the depth, draw a section along AB. Determine the depth at which mudstone will be met at point P. So in the question what they had given is the lower trace of the grid bed. So you can see this is the outcrop tracing that is given in the map, and this trace is for grid and green sandstone. Okay, so this is what they had given in the question. Then we have the sequence followed. Below the grid we have green sandstone of 20 meter, red sandstone of 25 meter, then we have yellow shale of 25 meter, and lastly we have mudstone. So this is the sequence they are given, and what they had asked is the formation to be marked in the map. So we have to mark, or we have to complete the map with all the formation that is given in the sequence. Okay, then we have determined the strike and dip of the formation, and then we have to draw the section along AB, and finally we have determined the depth at which the mudstone will be met at point P. So this is the point P. If there is a drilling made here, we have to find at what we can get the mudstone. So this is what they had asked for. Okay, so the very first step in solving a map is we have to prepare the stratigraphic sequence of this area. So they had given the rock formations, right? So this is very simple. We have to write it as it is given. That is, the grid is the youngest formation, which is underlined by green sandstone, comparatively older than grid. Then we have red sandstone, yellow shale, and mudstone is the oldest in the sequence, and they had given the thickness, right? And this arrow indicates youngest and oldest, that we all know, right? So this is what the very first step in solving. So we had made the stratigraphic sequence. Then what we have to do is we have to draw the strike. Okay, so what is a strike? By definition, you know, strike is the line joining equal elevation of a particular plane. In this case, what they are given is the lower trace of grid, that is the trace bedding plane between the grid and green sandstone. So this line indicates the bedding plane between the grid and green sandstone. So we are going to draw the strike for this particular bedding plane. So as you know, strikes connect equal elevation. We have three different heights at which the outcrop appears. One is 110 meter, the other two is 120 meter. So as we have the same value of strikes for a particular formation, we can draw the strike, right? So this is the very first strike, which is for green sandstone and grid, that is grid by green sandstone, and the value of the strike is 120 meter, that is given in this contour. As you know, the outcrop appears where there is same value of strike and contour meets. As we have the outcrop here and we know the contour, the strike will be having the same value. Is that clear? So we have drawn the very first strike, and as you know, by thumb rule, all the strikes are parallel and equally spaced until and unless it is deformed. So in this case, they had not mentioned any sort of deformation, so probably there is no any deformation we consider. So this is the very first strike, so we can use the set square to draw the second strike. Like this, we can move the set square parallel to the previous strike, when we can draw the second one, and the value for this strike will be 110, which is given in this contour, right? So we had drawn two strikes, and we know the value or direction in which the value is getting reduced. So we can draw other consecutive strikes in this side, and the values should be reducing when you move towards west. That is, the dip of the formation is almost towards western side. Is that okay? So let us draw the next strike with the equal interval, and that will be 100, then we have 90, then we have 80. So like this we can draw the adjacent strikes. And as you move right hand side, that is towards east, it is against the dip direction. So what are the strikes we have here? That will be having a higher value than 120, right? So we can draw the same thing here, and we can write the values here like 130, 140, 150 and 160. So whole map is completed with the strike drawing. So we had drawn the strike. The next step is we have to mark the formation, right? So we know the equal value of strike and contour will create an outcrop. and we know all the strike values here and all the contours have been given here with the values. So we have to mark the contact of same value of strike and same value of contour. So you can see 110 strike is here and 110 contour is here. So there will be a line, that is the outcrop, that passes here, right? Just like that, here you have 100 meter strike and we have 100 meter contour. So there will be two strikes passing in this 2 point. Likewise, you can draw for 90 and 80. Not only this, we have same 120 strike with the contour that is passing here, and also we have 110 here, then 100, 90, 80. So we can also mark these points for the outcrop. So all these points are the trace of the bedding plane for grid and green sandstone. So what we have to do is we have to connect these points. As you know, you should not cross, the outcrop should not cross any contour or strike separately. They can only cross when the same value of strike and contour meets. So you will start the line from here, then you will just continue all along this side to meet here. The same way you can start here and just move from here to here. So this is for this side, and also the same way you can start it from here. We can pass all the line and ends here. So what we did is we had marked the contact of two formation, that is for grid and green sandstone. So we had completed one thing, that is one contact plane is over, and we had find the dip that is towards west, that is constant for all the bedding sequence, as there is any deformation. So that is okay. So what we have to do is we have to shift to the next bedding plane, that is for green sandstone and red sandstone. For shifting this value, what we have to do is we have to move 20 meter down. That is, we have to reduce the strike value of sandstone and red sandstone by 20 meter. That is 160 will become 140. Likewise, the dip direction is same. So if it is 140, you can write 130 here, then 110, 120, all those value comes again. And you can check the difference is 20 meter. That is the thickness of green sandstone. So you can also use it in this way. If you have a common bed in both the side, the difference will be the thickness of this bed. Okay. So here we have the common bed as green sandstone in the first line and the second line, and the difference is 20 meter. So the green sandstone thickness is 20 meter, that is given. Okay. In the same way, by marking the same strike and contour contact, here also you can draw the outcrop. So we have 120 here, which is marked. We have 110 here, which is also we can mark here. Then we have 100. So we have 100 value one here. Then we have 90. Then we have 80. All what are the values we have, you can simply mark. And once again, you have to trace these beds just like this. You can draw the outcrop. So what we done now is we had completed the second bedding plane, which is quite easier, right? The first step is quite taking a long time, but as we move down, further down and down, you can complete the map quite easily. Likewise, if you want, you can shift this to here, which is we have to reduce the strike value by 25, but there is no any 25 strikes here. So what we can do is we can mark a separate strike here, that is a different strike only for this contact plane, that is say red sandstone and yellow shales contact plane. So how we can do is we have to measure the distance in between and divide it by 2. Probably it is somewhere near 2.4 centimeter. So we have to do it as 1.2 centimeter. We'll point it here, have a parallel line with this, and the value will be like it is 20 meter down, right? So if it is 140, it will be 115 for red sandstone by yellow shale, and here it will be 105. So as it is 105 and 115, the mid value will be 110. So that the strike that passes here for the red sandstone and yellow shale will be 110. Okay, like this you can fill all the strikes. So you can just try this in your way, and if you have any doubt, mention in the comment section. I will try to explain in the upcoming videos, and the next video will be on section drawing. So we'll try to explain how a section is to be drawn or a profile is to be drawn using the geological map. Okay, so the next video will be on this heading. We'll try to meet on the upcoming video. Thanks for watching and spending your time. Just try it yourself and make use of the video. Thank you.